Right. All right. So wonderful. All right. So, well, as I was telling the listeners and the viewers earlier, every time I read your blog, Troubles Don't Last, it always inspires me. So, what inspired you to do that blog?
Okay. Well, hopefully you can still hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very
Okay.
well.
Cool. Cool. All right. So people who are on social media are always posting stuff back when Instagram first started, and I never even heard what Instagram was back in 2011. It started like in the fall, but it started before then. But that's when I heard about it.
Yes.
Instagram and Twitter, and everybody was posting selfies and pictures of themselves and stuff. But I had nothing to post. I didn't. I always thought I was ugly, so I didn't. I didn't
And
know
you're
what to
not.
post. Well, appreciate it. I didn't know what to post, and so I just thought to myself, like, if I had to post every single day, what would I post? And I just post the stuff that I love, the post that means the most to me, that touched me the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I figured out my calling and my purpose, you know. And that's how you figure out yours, you know, whatever.
Wonderful.
You,
Yes.
you're passionate about, all that jazz. That's the direction and the path you need to take.
Yes. Well, there's lots of talk these days about finding your niche. So I guess you found your niche. You found,
Yeah.
I guess you found that motivating people was your niche. That brought you happiness. So now it's bringing thousands of people happiness.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about thousands, but it's getting there.
I know you're just being modest there. All right. So you have other blogs. Tell us about your the names of your other blogs.
All right, so my YouTube channel is my baby. That's where you're gonna find all my sermons, motivational speeches, because motivational speeches when I start doing engagements like that, and anything like that. My animations, everything's gonna be on that channel. So it's Upload Past Crossroads. This is my YouTube channel. I also have a podcast. It's called Upload Past Crossroads as well. Then I have a Facebook page and LinkedIn, Sean Christopher Jenkins. But my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter is Trouble Don't Last. That's my main page right there.
All right.
Trouble Don't Last. If you got Tumblr and you're old, I feel like old people use Tumblr. It's Trouble Don't Last and then number one. So don't spell out one. It's just number one. Trouble Don't Last, number one.
All right. Wonderful.
Those are my pages.
well, definitely, my favorite blog that you do is on Instagram. Okay, Troubles Don't Last, and you know what? That is such an awesome name because it's such an awesome name for a blog because the name itself sends out a positive message that whatever you're going through, it's not going to be forever. All right, it's not going to last forever. It's going to last for a season, and then after a while, that's it. All right, life goes on.
Right. Yeah, that was the idea behind it. Some people missed the memorandum when it came to my username, but
yes,
that's what I wanted to come across when you come across my username. Same thing with my YouTube channel. Upload Past Crossroads.
Yes,
I wanted something that meant a lot of things. You have to think about it, and it can go in multiple directions or facets.
Yes.
Upload Past Crossroads. The same thing as Trouble Don't Last. So
definitely.
We'll see what my church name will be when I start one.
Definitely.
Just stay at that.
All right, Sean. So today I want us to talk a little bit about relationships. Okay, we know lots of persons are getting in relationships. Lots of persons are coming out of relationships. Lots of persons are contemplating, should I be in a relationship or not? I mean, in life we do need relationships. All right. It's you and I are actually here because of our relationship. So relationships are of absolute importance. Okay, so what are some of the first things you think that we should consider before we get into a relationship?
First of all, the first things first, like the elephant in the room, is how do you feel about yourself?
Oh, wow.
That's the first thing first.
Really?
Like, just to change the whole subject, yeah, because love begins with you. So if you don't love yourself and you don't appreciate and value yourself, how can you expect somebody else to? And I used to do that. Like,
come on now.
I thought I was ugly. I thought I was worth nothing. Like, just because I was raised in a white community, long story short. So what white people thought about black people, when I finally figured out I was black, that's what I was like, man, dang, I'm the scum of the earth, right? So love begins with you. So like, if you don't love yourself, you're going to be going around seeking love that nobody else can give you and will give you until you start it with yourself.
Wow.
So that's the first thing that's where it begins. And love comes from God. God is love, right? So if you don't have God, how in the world can you know what love is? God created love, right? If God exists, he created love. So if you don't depend on him to figure out your identity, your true value, your true worth, what you should look for in a relationship and marriage, then where are you going? in the
I
wrong
get you.
direction.
I
That's
hear
what it's
you. I hear you. I totally
Yeah.
hear you on that one. All right. So I think everybody needs to know that, hey, you know what, love comes from God. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
And of course, like you said, the second thing is that you gotta love yourself. You have to love yourself. I mean, if you're here hating on yourself, you know what's funny? We talk about the haters a lot. All right, but some of us are our biggest haters. It's like we don't like our hair texture, we don't like our complexion, we don't like our lips, we don't like the size of our nose. It's there's some people who are very, very fair who think that, oh my gosh, I'm too fair. And some people who are dark, oh my, I'm too dark. Some people are, they're somewhere in between. Oh my, I need to be something else. And so it's important, like you're saying, Sean, that we love ourselves, that that we see the beauty in ourselves, that we see the worth in ourselves, because if we don't, nobody else will. It's as simple as that.
That's where racism stems from too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are racist because they hate themselves.
True.
If you really think about it and boil it down. Anybody who's having a bad day and they lash out at you, like for example, we all been to fast food restaurants or restaurants where the waiter or waitress sucked. Like they had the attitude, worst attitude ever, and like it affected you, but you didn't think about them, like where they're coming from. Like they're hurting, they're in pain.
Yes, it's true. It's very true.
You know what I mean? And so that's why you gotta be careful. That's another thing you should look out for.
Yes.
Are people looking for healing in the relationship that they're trying to get with you, or are they actually healed and are ready for a relationship? Because like a relationship, people put too much emphasis on it. You know what I mean? Like that's my identity. And when you do that and you identify yourself, because of a relationship, that's another question. That's something else.
So I want us to pull up here. I want us to pull up here because you are raising a very important point right now, and I really don't want us to miss this point in any way. You're saying that from what I understand, you're saying is that hurting people hurt people. And so if a person is hurt and they're going through a lot of pain and so on, a relationship is not the answer.
No, it's not. Like, you have other relationships for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's not, people think love is the answer. Like, when I say love, I mean like a boyfriend, girlfriend, cuddled up and booed up. Like, that's the answer. When the answer could be just a friend.
Yes.
Could be just getting yourself together, because that's another thing. People don't utilize their single season. Your singleness is important, so don't minimize it.
Wow.
Like, what are things that you can do in your singlehood right now that you can't do when you're married?
Yes.
Right. And I can say that because most of my life I've been single, and that's another thing. I'm about to throw y'all a lot of stuff, but how you are raised is how you love. So a lot of people are raised on survival.
Wow.
So do you want to be with somebody who's raised on survival? I've been with somebody who's raised on survival, and let me tell you how it was. It was awful. Like, they're always seeking something that you can't meet. You'll never satisfy them. And for example, like my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, she was a Christian and everything. So like I talk about being unequally yoked all the time on my YouTube channel. So check it out. Upload Pastor Crossroads. But anyways, I had to throw that in there. But anyways, like with her, she was only raised by her mom. So her mom had to be the man and the dad in the household ever since she was 4. So because of that, children are sponges. So they pick up on everything that their parents dish out to them, right? So you become your parents, especially when you're around them all the daggone time. You become who you associate with. The 5 people you spend the most time with, the average, you guys see what I'm saying. The 5 people you spend the most time with, you become.
You become like them. Wow.
Yeah, they symbolize and show you who you are. They're a reflection of you, right? So like with her mom was, she took such a man role and woman role at the same time, like a lot of black females have to do in the hood, even like in the hood. Let's be real, right? So what do you think that's going to do to a woman that's raised like that, a child, a girl?
It creates a dysfunction. All right, it actually does. So now when a good man comes to love you and protect you and be there for you and everything, like he just gets a push. I don't need you. I do not need you. I can do everything by myself. What do I need you for?
They're just bossy. You can't.
So
you try to satisfy them. Yeah, like it's awful.
So
that's just
basically what I'm getting from what you're saying is that, persons like we all need to be true to ourselves. All right. Like, we need to heal before we get into relationships. We don't get into a relationship and then and then try to heal based on that relationship, because nobody can heal you. That's a work that you have to do by yourself. And what you're saying, I can really connect to it, Sean, because I remember, I was married when I was 23 years old, and then I was divorced by the time I was 30, and after that, I refused to go through the healing process. All right. I simply refused it. And so I sought to, I sought to get into other relationships as a means of filling that gap within me. But let me tell you, they were all disastrous. All right. And I was very toxic. Yes, people talk about a toxic person. I was the toxic one, okay? So after a couple of years and realizing that, hey, I'm still hurting, and then finally realizing that, wait, you're the toxic one, Melissa. That's when I actually stopped and went and got counseling and decided, you know what, no more relationships for me until I heal. So it's only until I healed then I got into a relationship. All right? So all right.
Man, it's so much. I forgot what I was going to say. I don't remember that.
Yes. Yeah. So what about trust in a relationship? Now, persons say, oh, when you're in a relationship, you have to trust people. But what is your take on that?
Don't be deceived. Don't be naive.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Bible, God recommended himself. God himself, right? He said, be vigilant like a serpent. Like you're a sheep, but be like a serpent. Like when it comes
you have to be wise as a serpent but harmless as a dove.
Yeah,
all right. And then trust is something that's earned as well too. It's like you have to observe a person's behavior over a period of time, and then you trust them. You don't just jump in and trust just like that.
Right. And then like Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart above all things, for out of it springs all the issues of life. All the issues of life come from your heart. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? Like, so just going naive through life. And that's what I was going to talk about, dating around. Like, everybody think dating around's okay. Just dating around.
So what? No, wait. So why dating around is not okay? Because
it goes back to that. Guard your heart. Like, you don't give everybody. And Jesus even talked about too. After one parable, he said, if you don't give your precious pearls to pigs,
wow,
jewelry to swine. Like what? Like, so that's what people do. They date around and give their precious, most treasurable parts of themselves to people who don't even deserve it.
Wow.
That goes back to my very first point. If you loved yourself, you want to put yourself through half of the crap that you've been through dating. You wouldn't have gave people the time of day if you knew your worth.
Oh, yes.
Who you really were, whose you belong to, if you really knew what you really wanted and what was waiting for you on the other side, and really trusted God and have faith in what that promised land is, because remember the Israelites were going to the promised land, right? And in the midst of your wilderness, in the midst of that singleness, that's where it's barren, hot, and like where you live at, where it's hot and awful, like and dreadful, right? If you have faith in that right there, instead of like making all the mistakes that you made in that bare wilderness desert place, man, how would your life be different? You know what I'm saying? Like you would have grown so much, because it's in the wait that God does the most work. It's in the wait that your relationship with God grows so much. It's in the wait that you become the best version possible
of you.
When your spouse comes around, you don't need them to heal you. You guys are so perfect for one another, because both of you two went through the necessary healing process, the necessary growth process, the necessary process of maturity. Because not everybody's mature that's in a relationship, right? That's another thing you should probably be looking for, right? I'm talking about from a high level, like, you know what I mean, like the best product of each and every single person, because that's what we should all be striving for, right? The best. Like we should be the best in our interpretation and in the way we conduct ourselves and the way we love, we give out love and love ourselves. Because again, you can't give something that you don't have. If you don't love yourself, how in the world can you love somebody else? Right? So going back, I mentioned that with racism, but also with love. Like, if you don't value yourself and appreciate yourself, you're not going to seek a relationship that does the same thing. Also, you will put yourself in relationships that harm you instead of make you better.
Oh my gosh, I want you to repeat that. I want you to repeat that part. If you don't love yourself, you're going to put yourself in relationships that are going to harm you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, because you know something. Sometimes we sit and and it's like amazing. Like we think to ourselves, how is it that this person moves from one abusive relationship to the next? How is it that they move from one heartbreak to the next, and they just keep going on and on and on? So it all comes back to how you feel about yourself. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. And man, this world's an awful place. It really is. Like, so many people do it, right? Like if you really boil down to the nitty gritty, to the root cause of everything. Like, why is the divorce rate so high? Your decisions dictate everything. Like, you make wrong decisions when your mind is cloudy with the wrong judgments. When again, you don't have the right maturity factor that you should have at the age that you're at. You know what I mean? Because let's be real. When you're 25, you should not be dating around like you did back in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody dated around.
Jumping from person to person. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't do that in your 40s when you got
no
five
way
kids or six.
no, you can't. You cannot.
And then on top of that, what does that do to your kids?
Yes.
They're sponges. What are they gonna do? A mimic. You know what I mean? Like they literally copy everything you do. I still remember, even siblings. Like if one sibling does it, another one do it. One thing I used to do with my little brother, I used to dig in my nose and put it in my mouth. And then I seen him do it, and I was like, okay.
You were smaller.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was like, I can't do that. But that's just an example, right? Like everybody copies everything that everybody else does.
Yes.
So what kind of representation do you want to be?
Well,
That's another thing.
in Guyana, we say, what kind of example are you showing the younger people? That's what that's how we normally phrase it. What kind of example are you setting for your brothers, your sisters? What example are you really setting? All right. And of course, at the end of the day, Sean, people can do whatever they want to do. If they want to date around, they can do just that. All right. If people want anything people want to do, they can do it. All right. But at the end of the day, we will all have to suffer the consequences for what we do. All right. And there's some people who are hurting and they're wounded and I've spoken to a lot of people like that, and I was like that at one time. You're hurting and you're wounded and you're saying, well, there aren't any good men left or there aren't any good women left. But that's not true, all right? We have 7 point something billion people in this world. So I don't think you or I or anybody else have gone through all of those people. So that could never be an accurate statement. However, it all starts from that statement all starts from what you were talking about, all right? When people serial date, it's like you just date around all over the place. You jump from person to person. Your self-esteem is not even in the right place. You keep getting hurt all the time. You keep picking the same kind of people. And then after a while, it's like, your heart has just had enough. Your heart is just wounded. And you say, hey, I don't trust anybody. I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. All men are this or all women are that, all right? But I just really want to encourage persons, because I endorse everything that you say, that, a good relationship with anyone starts by loving yourself. It starts by seeing your own worth and your own value. And, Sean, it's like lots of us, we have a lot of self-work to do. And I really love the point that you brought out that, during your single period, that's the time when we should be working on ourselves the most. All right. Yeah. That's like an opportunity to work on yourself. That's an opportunity to be healed as well too, so that when Mr. or Miss Right comes along, that we're not hurt, that we're healed, that we're in a good position to deal with, a good position emotionally, mentally, and even psychologically to deal with that person. All right. So, Sean, I'm definitely gonna bring you back again. All right. So just tell persons, because you know what, this is such a huge topic, and I don't think that we could have just covered it in these few minutes. So before you go, just, of course, leave some encouraging words, and of course, let persons know where they can follow you. Because like I said, I would highly recommend you, because like I always get so much hope every single time I read your blog. Like I just get hope. It just brightens my day. All right. And of course, I want to share that with the Girl Power family. All right. So tell persons again where we can find you, and of course, leave some encouraging words before we go out.
I'll start off with the encouraging words, so I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, because I need encouragement too.
Of course, we all do.
Everybody's looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
And we all want it, and like we all strive for it. We fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
We even kill for it.
Mm-hmm.
So the love of your life that you're waiting for, that you really want, is out there. It's there. So don't settle. Don't compromise. Don't devalue yourself and settle in a situation that you don't deserve. You deserve the best. You deserve God's best.
Oh yes.
God wants you to have the best. So, like I was saying, man, prioritize that. Don't ever lower the standard. Don't ever lower the bar. Don't like you deserve it. So wait on it. Like wait on it.
Be patient.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to date around and everything like that. But like I was saying, like when you prioritize a relationship above everything, your identity is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And it led me to suicide, and I don't want that for anybody. So, it led me to almost commit.
Almost,
suicide.
yes.
Yeah, but yeah, we got it, guys. Like you got it. Just keep on waiting, and to those who wait, you know, the best comes to those who wait.
All right.
That's all I got to say.
All right. So tell persons where they can find you on social media.
Yeah. So my Instagram page, like she said, Melissa said, you call yourself Melissa on the program, right?
Yes. Troubles don't last. Yes.
Yeah. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Trouble Don't Last. Follow me, please, and like all my stuff.
Of
like,
course, and share it too.
Yeah, YouTube channel, Upload Past Crossroads. That's also my podcast on every podcast platform you can think of. So Spotify, Chromecast, all that. Upload Past Crossroads again.
Upload past. Sorry. That's Upload Past Crossroads.
No, Uplift.
Oh, Uplift Past Crossroads. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Sean is just about everywhere.
Yeah, Sean Christopher Jenkins, Facebook and LinkedIn, and then Tumblr, #1. Trouble Don't Last, #1.
Are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
Not yet. I need.
You need to get on TikTok. You need to.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I need help with that.
You need to. I'm like now learning, so I can't even help you, but I'm now learning.
Like everybody be doing dances and stuff. I want to be me. Like I'll do a dance.
No, but some people talk, but they have a little music playing in the background or whatever it is. But it's like the coolest thing. All right, Sean, thank you so much for joining us. I greatly, oh my God, I really, really appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. You know that I really love the work that you're doing. So lots of love to you. Lots of love from the Girl Power family, and of course, lots of love from our Mad 97.5 FM family. All right, so take care. Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you. All right.
All right, so remember to join us next week, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Girl Power, all right? So love y'all and have a wonderful weekend.